Coming up on UCF Nightly News, Governor Rick Scott won a second term as governor in one of the closest races in Florida's history.
And in Washington, the Republican Party took control of the U.S. Senate. We'll tell you everything you need to know about the midterm election. Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Al Hernandez.
And I'm Brittany Jackson. Today is Friday, November 7th. Our top story today, Republican Governor Rick Scott won a second term in Tallahassee.
That's right, and the election was a nail-biter. But before all the Election Day craziness, Democratic candidate Charlie Crist chose UCF as the last stop on his campaign trail. Charlie Crist held a campus rally on Monday night to urge students to get out and vote, and he wasn't alone. Former President Bill Clinton, Senator Bill Nelson, and members of the Florida legislature were also there to help rally support for the candidate. This all took place in the venue behind the CFE Arena, and campaign officials say about 1,000 students showed up. The topics discussed ranged from Medicaid expansion to equal pay for women. Bill Clinton even praised UCF, saying the university sets an example for the state government.
We need the working model that UCF follows in supporting all these computer simulation companies to be the working model that state government follows.
Despite Charlie Crist's appearance at UCF on Monday, he could not rally enough votes to win the election. Reporter Devin Cafaro is here to tell us more.
Yes, guys, this was one of the closest and most expensive races we've had in Florida's history. Governor Rick Scott barely won his re-election with only 1% more of the vote than Charlie Crist. And a Center for Public Integrity analysis shows the two candidates spent a total of $95 million on campaigns. Of that total, Governor Scott and groups backing him spent $61 million, the most of any gubernatorial candidate in this election cycle. But it was a tight race until the very end, with the candidates finishing at 48% and 47%. Scott and Crist swapped the lead many times while votes were counted across the state. The Associated Press soon declared Scott the winner, and it was unsure whether Crist would call for a recount. But shortly before 11:30 that night, Crist conceded and Rick Scott gave his victory speech.
This was a tough election, and I understand that. And I wish Governor Scott the best and his family. But I wish the best also for our state.
But our work is not done until every family like the one I grew up in that struggled to make ends meet can get a great job, raise a family, and have this shot at the dream of America.
With Scott's victory, Florida has not had a Democratic governor since Governor Buddy McKay in 1998. UCF was also one of the precincts in Orange County on Election Day, and both the college Democrats and the college Republicans urged students to get out and vote. A little less than 2,000 students cast their ballots on campus during the early voting period, but this week's turnout was much different. I was there on Election Day to see what the voting scene was like on campus.
I think I'm tired of Rick Scott.
I voted for Rick Scott because he holds the beliefs that I hold in.
Voted for Charlie Crist because he supported the medical marijuana movement.
Picking Rick Scott was kind of picking the lesser of two evils.
Election Day was in full swing as students had their chance to vote on Florida's future. The college Democrats at UCF split up to different precincts both on and off campus to promote their candidates.
Hi, have you voted yet?
While the college Republicans tabled in front of the student union. To help increase voter turnout on campus, college Republicans members gave students free golf cart rides to the voting center at the CFE Arena.
Exercise your right to vote!
But there wasn't much going on at the precinct, and students reported a quick and easy voting experience. Although 60,000 students attend UCF, Orange County Supervisor of Elections results show that only 190 students actually voted on campus. Overall, Orange County was one of the few blue areas in the state, with voters choosing Charlie Crist by more than 10%.
but it wasn't enough to win him the governor's mansion.
As a club, I think we are just very pleased with the results, and we worked very hard for it, and now we all get to celebrate the victory.
At first when we heard the results, we were all, of course, like a little bummed out. We definitely worked hard, but I wouldn't consider it a loss.
The college Democrats say this only gives them more motivation for the 2016 election. But for now,
tears, lots of tears.
It's the college Republicans that are crying the tears of joy.
Both the college Democrats and the college Republicans tell me they're already making plans for the next election in 2016.
Thanks, Devin. Voters also decided on 3 proposed amendments. All of them required 60% approval. Amendment 1, which dedicates funds to water and land conservation, passed with 75% of the vote. The controversial medical marijuana amendment had a majority with 58%, but was just shy of that 60% mark. And Amendment 3, which would give a retiring governor the power to appoint replacement judges who start after the governor's term, was the most unpopular amendment. It only received 48%.
And although Florida did not have any senators on the ballot this year, you can expect a big change in the Senate up in Washington, D.C. That's because Republicans picked up 7 Senate seats in the midterm election, taking the majority away from the Democratic Party. Now, for the first time since President Obama took office, he will face a Congress with Republicans in control of both the House and the Senate. On Wednesday, the president addressed the nation on all the challenges that lie ahead.
Congress will pass some bills I cannot sign. I'm pretty sure I'll take some actions that some in Congress will not like. That's natural. That's how our democracy works.
The Republicans can still add to their numbers with 3 Senate races in Louisiana, Virginia, and Alaska that have yet to be decided.
Now time for a look at the weather. Devin joins us with our first forecast.
And Devin, the forecast looks chilly. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
That's right. Although the election was heated this week, we can expect to see some cooler weather coming our way. We're finally back down to the 70s again, and that will slowly drop as we continue throughout our weekend. But this is a live look at campus right now. It's a very brisk and partly cloudy day, and the sun is shining, so it's a nice day to be outside. It's currently 75 degrees with a 0% chance of rain, so no need to bring your umbrella to class today. The humidity is at 39%, and there's a light breeze with winds blowing north by northwest at 8 miles per hour. We'll have more on the forecast and your 5-day outlook a little bit later in the broadcast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Devin. Still ahead on Nightly News, a brand new performing arts center is finally open in downtown Orlando.
And UCF student athletes are ranking first in the nation. Stick around to see what the Knights are accomplishing. If you're a lover of the arts, I have exciting news for you. Downtown Orlando is now home to a brand new performing arts center.
Yeah, that's right. After 4 years of planning and construction, the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts is finally open to the public. I attended the opening ceremony and learned more about what the new center means for the Central Florida and UCF community.
We have dreamed of this moment to declare the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts open.
The citizens of Orlando showed up in full force for the grand opening of the new Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts. Center officials say the new building, located in the heart of the tourism capital of the country, cost nearly $115 million to build. Representatives say this new state-of-the-art facility is a step above the Bob Carr Theater, which was the previous home for the city's events for decades. UCF partnered with the Dr. Phillips Center and contributed nearly $15 million to the development. Because of this partnership, UCF officials say the Fine Arts Department has access to the facility to hold its annual showcase for years to come. Officials say the opening of the Dr. Phillips Center for Performing Arts is the beginning of more recognition for the arts in Central Florida. And UCF representatives say they are hopeful for the future and what lies ahead here at their new home. College of Arts and Humanities Dean Jose Fernandez spoke to Nightly News and told us what he feels this means for the UCF student body.
And I think by having UCF having the opportunity to be present here too, it is of great importance for UCF. And of course, we are UCF's hometown university, and of course, it would be a great opportunity too for our students.
On campus, UCF arts professors say they are excited about the partnership with the new center. Judy Seifried, the director of the dance minor program at the university, says she wants this to increase our presence in downtown Orlando.
Hopefully it will give us more interface with the downtown area, and hopefully it will attract donors so they will see what the quality of work we can do, and then they will give to a performing arts center on campus.
The University of Central Florida will hold its annual arts festival at the new center in April. Until then, the facility will host a variety of shows and performances, with their first ticketed performance on November 8th. The grand opening celebration will continue all weekend with a special concert from artist Sheryl Crow on Saturday.
UCF student athletes are ranking among the elite schools in the nation, but the success is not coming on the field, it's coming in the classroom. Earlier this week, I looked into how UCF athletes are excelling academically.
So I think it's just having that support factor back there that makes it a little bit different than the general student body.
The NCAA announced UCF has the highest graduation success rate of student athletes of public Division I universities in the nation. Since 2007, 95% of UCF student athletes graduated with a bachelor's degree, and 7 different sports posted perfect graduation rates.
It's not just we're going to throw you out on the field for 4 years and you're going to be successful there. It's all the other pieces that we're bringing to the table as that everyday champion that we're going to help prepare you for what the next steps are. And I do believe we're getting better athletes and better students.
Academic Services for Student Athletes officials say the athletes deserve credit for staying on top of schoolwork while on road trips.
And then if they are traveling, making sure that they're in contact with their instructors to make up any missed work or to make sure that they're going to be doing their homework when they are traveling.
Student athletes, though, say the personal advisors help keep them motivated.
Especially over at ASSA, it's just their passion that they have for it and the willingness to get us to work. Each advisor, each mentor makes sure that you really want to get your work done, you're doing it in a quality way and efficiently.
All but 2 of UCF's athletic programs have a graduation success rate higher than 90%. NCAA officials say only Notre Dame, Stanford, Duke, and Northwestern, all private schools, have a higher graduation success rate than UCF.
In the U.S., being a woman means losing more than $400,000 over your working lifetime. Because of this, White House economists started a new campaign with #EqualPay to raise awareness for this discrepancy. Women's studies experts say white women make 78 cents for every dollar a man makes in the same line of work. But the discrimination deepens among races. African American women earn 64 cents less, and Hispanic women make even less at 56 cents per dollar.
We have what's called feminized jobs, and what happens is that when a large majority of women do that work is often considered less valuable.
Research from the American Association of University Women ranks Florida as 4th in the nation, paying women 84% of what men earn.
The weather has been beautiful. When we come back, Devin tells us what to expect for the next few days.
Yeah, and a little later in sports, the men's basketball team opened up the season. Find out how they did. The Electric Daisy Carnival hits Central Florida. Reporter Paige Sterner tells us how students can stay safe during the two-day event.
I'm excited to go to EDC because all my friends are going. We're going to have a big group. We're going to meet new people. It's going to have just a really good time. You know, just a bunch of energy, the crowd, the music, the lights, everything, the rides too.
The Electric Daisy Carnival is one of only 3 music festivals in Florida. Many UCF students like Tyler Rozowski are ready for the excitement. During the 2-day event, DJs like Alesso, Dylan Francis, and Steve Aoki will all take the stage. But with EDC comes safety concerns for the thousands expected to show up. In the past, many people were forced to take trips to the first aid tent and the hospital because of dehydration.
It's like really the biggest thing. A lot of people do, like when they do drugs too, they get dehydrated a lot, and that's when they start, like their body starts shutting down.
Here on campus, police officer Joel Witherspoon encourages attendees to be responsible.
Staying hydrated medically, of course, to keep your body going, but also if you're under 21, don't drink, period. If you are of legal age, be smart about how much alcohol you consume.
Along with staying hydrated, Witherspoon says to use the buddy system and wear comfortable clothes.
Be safe, enjoy yourself, and be responsible for yourself and for each other. And we'll see you back at class on Monday.
In Orlando, Paige Sterner, UCF Nightly News.
Over 30,000 people attended the carnival last year. EDC officials say they have a zero-tolerance policy for drug use at the event. Now let's take a look at our weather.
Devin, how's it looking?
Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our state temperature map right now. The north part of Florida is a lot cooler than the rest of the state, with Tallahassee and Jacksonville at both 66 degrees. Further down in the middle part of Florida, Tampa and our beloved Orlando are both sunny and 75. But down south in Miami, that winter weather has not hit yet, so Miami down here is at 84 degrees. Now moving on to our 5-day forecast. Friday, today we have a high of 76 with a low of 57, and like I said earlier, a 0% chance of rain, but that will all change come this weekend. Saturday, we have a 30% chance of rain, and Sunday, a 70% chance of rain, so it might be a good weekend to stay inside. Saturday's a high of 79, low of 59. Sunday, it gets a little chillier with a high of 66, low of 54. Monday's a high of 78, low of 55, 10% chance of rain. Tuesday is Veterans Day, where we honor all those who served our great country. There will be no classes that day, so it'll be a great day to go outside because there's a high of 81 and a low of 57. 10% chance of rain for that day as well. That's all the time we have for weather now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Devin. Still ahead on Nightly News. This weekend's going to be exciting for UCF sports.
Sports is up next.
Welcome back. I'm Paige Sterner, and this is your UCF Sports Update. The Women's American Athletic Conference Soccer Tournament is well underway. After a dominant 4-0 quarterfinal victory against Southern Methodist University, the women's soccer team is on their way to another championship game. The only thing standing in their way is a semifinal match against the University of Connecticut. The only conference game lost by the ladies came from a 1-0 loss to the Huskies. AAC Goalie of the Year Connie Organ says the team is ready for a rematch.
One of our goals was not to lose at all at conference, so just really redeeming ourselves as part of it, and then obviously we want to win that so we can go to the championship match.
The UConn semifinal game is tonight in Tampa at 5 p.m. The men's basketball team had their season opener on Tuesday night against Flagler College. Freshman guard B.J. Taylor shot an impressive 9 for 13 from the field for 23 points. And transfer Shahid Davis also had a great outing against Flagler, shooting 70% ending the night with 16 points. The Knights clinched a commanding 96-70 victory over the Saints. UCF plays Georgia College next on Tuesday right here on campus at the CFE Arena. The football team headed to UConn last week looking to stay undefeated in the American Athletic Conference. Early on in the first quarter, William Standback broke the scoreless tie between the two teams. He finished with 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fast forward to the third quarter, trailing by 3, Justin Holman hit J.J. Wharton across the middle. He slipped a handful of tackles and took it all the way for 6. Wharton hauled in 11 catches on the day for 178 yards. UConn responded quickly, though, with a Ron Johnson TD on 4th and goal. UCF tried to answer, but Holman threw one of his 4 interceptions. UConn safety Andrew Adams had 3 of the 4 picks alone. Noel Thomas provided the nail in the coffin with a 22-yard catch and run. UConn upsets the Knights 37-29. The Knights are off this week. Their next game is Friday against Tulsa at 8 p.m. on ESPN. That's all the time we have this week. Back to Brittany and Al at the desk.
Unfortunate for that loss, and now, as she mentioned, we have to wait so long for the next game.
I know they have a lot of work to do before they come back next week, that's for sure, though. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. Remember that this week is Veterans Day on Tuesday, so there's no school.
If you have a story or idea or comment about something you've seen here on Nightly News, email us at nightlynews.ucf.edu.
And be sure to check us out online at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Join us here again next week. Until then, have a great weekend and happy Veterans Day.